All right, gang, we're doing J1, drawing cute bubble guys. All right, what are cute bubble guys? Let's go take a look. Figures that look like this, kind of like they're made out of jello. So I have some notes here. Hints. After you draw the ovals for the body and the first arm, make copies of them before you color them with a gradient. Then you'll have a copy of those shapes for later. That's actually pretty important because the step that you have to do if you don't do that is pretty annoying. And then when we need to use the Pathfinder, use the Pathfinder panel, not the one that you can find under the effects menu. All right, let's go take a look. So this uses something called the mesh gradient. The mesh gradient is a way cool way of putting a gradient on it that's very sophisticated. It lets you put specific points on it and to color each point, and then it'll apply the gradient between those points. That'll make a lot of sense as soon as we look at this. Or not. All right, looks like I'm actually logged into it now. Alrighty, I'm going to draw some bubble guys. So what is a mesh gradient? If I just draw a simple shape like that, and then I come up here and I do object, where to go? Create gradient mesh, and I tell it that I want to make 2 rows and 2 columns, and I click OK. Now each one of these is a point that I can make a different color. Let me set my workspace back to my favorite style, Workspace Essentials Classic. All right, so I can select a point. Still looking different than it does at school. It's not showing my colors up here. Oh well, can I change it here? Nope, that changed the entire shape. Well, good enough. See if I can select a specific shape with that. Maybe pull up the swatches. There, you see? That point got changed to color. Now I can pick this one with the white cursor and change that to a different color. And this one to a different color. That one to a different color still, right? And then I can move these things around. So that's a gradient mesh. Pretty cool. That's what we're going to take advantage of to draw our jelly guys, our bubble guys. Oh, now they're there. Okay. So we have 2 colors here, kind of a lima bean green, and then whatever color that's supposed to be. So it'd be a good idea if I actually define those colors ahead of time so that they're available as swatches for me. So I do believe that over here in my hints, I define the colors. Here we are. Here's the bluish color and here's the greenish color. Now I can just copy that and paste it, right? Just copy that. I'm going to make that color. How do I make that color? I come in here and I draw some kind of shape, right? And then when I move over here, it says hold the shift key to bring up the alternate color UI. So if I shift click on that, then I can get the alternate color UI where I can adjust these things appropriately. However, this is in CMYK rather than RGB, but that's easy to fix. I can choose RGB. And then I can paste that thing that I just copied right there. And it didn't work. I must not have hit tab or something like that. Let's try that again. Shift, click, RGB, come down here, paste it, tab out of it. All right, hopefully now it's good to go. That looks horrible. That can't possibly be the correct color. 19B0A9. Shift click. Well, where'd that come from? 19B089. Tab out of it. There we go. That's a good color. Now let's make another square and put the other colors in. These are DOE4A7. DOE4A7. So shift click here. DOE4A7. All right, so there's my dark green and my light green colors. I'm not convinced that looks exactly like they do here. Maybe so. Yeah, I guess so. Alrighty, so I want to create swatches to match these. So how do I create a swatch? I click it. I shift click on the little color indicator. And by the way, how did I get the color indicator up here? I chose Essentials Classic. You can also do the same thing over here in the color menu. From the pull down, I can do create new swatch. I'm going to call this greenish. Doesn't matter really as long as it's there in my swatches. I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. Select that one. Hamburger menu. Create new swatch. Lima bean. All right. So now those colors are available to me, right? They're available through the pull down. Greenish and lima bean. They're all available over here in the swatches. Can't find the swatches? Choose window swatches, and there they are. Window swatches. You can find pretty much any window under the window menu. Okay. Now that I got those, I don't even need these anymore. I can delete them because I have the colors tucked away as swatches. All right, so I'm going to draw a sphere. I'm going to apply a gradient mesh to it, and then I'm going to move the center of the gradient mesh down so that it's in the, the southwest. Alrighty, let's do that. Draw a circle. Now I seem to remember making a comment in my helpful instructions here that after I draw the ovals for the body and the first arm, make copies for them. How far do we need to go before we make those copies? After we stretch it out to an egg shape. This is just the head, and apparently we don't make a copy for the head. So let's go add our gradient mesh to it. And if that's just the head, I should probably shrink it a little bit. Because doesn't hurt to have a great big bubble guy, but anyways, okay. Object, create gradient mesh, 2 by 2, okay. Choose the white cursor, click and release the middle anchor, pull it down there. See what it looks like here, and so the middle one needs to be the lima bean color, and the other one needs to be that bluish color. I probably should have chosen to make the entire thing bluish and then change the lima bean color in the middle. So I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to select the shape, make it that color, and then with the white cursor I'm going to select and release that middle anchor. Select and release that middle anchor, and then make that there. Kind of looks, like a sphere. It's got some cool shading. If I want to drag that point further to the corner, I could. All right. Now I'm going to draw another circle and make it an oval. Just going to use a black cursor to stretch it out, kind of. Let me go back to my instructions and compare. All right, so they want that to be a little chubbier. We can do that. If you hold the Alt Option key down while you resize, resizes it from the middle. Why do you care about that? Because if you don't, it stretches it out like that. It doesn't preserve the center place. So I'm going to hold the Alt key, the Option key, while I stretch it out. Okay. Now that's the thing that I should make a copy of before I go on. Just stick it over there. And by the way, we don't want strokes on these that'll make it not look correct, right? We want it to look like this when we're done. We don't really want strokes on them. Okay, so I'm going to make the body the darker color. Whoops, wrong. So select that egg shape. How to make so many copies? Oh well, guess they won't hurt. And choose my darker color. Go to the next step. Add a gradient mesh to this one. Same process. Object, create gradient mesh, 2 by 2, white cursor, select and release on the middle anchor, drag it down, and change the middle color to the lima bean color. Now we're going to draw an arm. This is the one that we should make a copy of after we've drawn it. Why? Because then we need another one over here. Of course, we could draw it again, but we really do need copies of these things because we're going to do a step later on, sneak preview, where we use another copy of the body to create this kind of two-tone effect. The same for the arm. So that's actually why we're making copies of them. Where were we? Okay, time to draw the arm. Make it the darker color. Drag it over here and rotate it. Gonna go compare. Guess it's good enough. I need to make a copy of that. Just keep that over here in the background as well. All right, and I need to put one on the other side as well and send it to the back. So I'm just going to drag a copy of it, rotate it, send it to the back. Right click, arrange, send to back. I think they have their head a little bit larger than I do in proportion to the body. Maybe a little bit. So I'm going to hold the Alt key down and resize it. Okay. Onward. I guess they want another gradient mesh there. We can do that. Do it to the other arm. I guess I should have done it before. I made a copy of it. Well, the copy that we put over there anyways. Not that one. That one I want to leave pristine. Anyways, select, object, create gradient mesh. Okay. Select the middle point with the white cursor. Direct select cursor. Grab it. Pull it down a little bit, I guess. Not sure it matters so much. Select that one. That one doesn't look, well, anyways. Do the same thing. Object, create gradient mesh, 2 by 2. White cursor, select, make lima bean colored. Okay. Okay, now we want to add some highlights to him. So we're going to draw a couple of white ovals, and then we're going to make them translucent so that we can see through them, so that it looks like, you know, some kind of reflection. Oval tool, I want it to be white. Draw a white oval, maybe a little circle, maybe kind of rotate them. I know it's going to look like eyes, and I know that theirs doesn't look like eyes. Anyways, now make them translucent. I'm going to click on that, go to opacity, and lower its opacity. I wonder what setting they wanted. About 20% is what they say. Let's take a look. I recall not liking 20% in the past. Maybe I thought it was too pale. No, it actually looks okay, doesn't it? It's not letting me rotate this one unless I zoom in. There. Same business. Make it 20%. Zoom back out. All right. I'm pretty sure that we add some to the body as well. But firstly, they want us to do this business of where we make it look like a two-toned egg. Easter egg kind of thing. So we need to use another copy of the body. We're going to drag it over it, and then we're going to draw another oval on top of it, and then we're going to use the Pathfinder to get the intersection of it. So let's grab one of our spare bodies. They show it as white. It doesn't really matter what color it is. And then they wanted another circle dragged over it. I could just reuse this one, couldn't I? Or I could try to draw a new one. Just so it kind of cuts across the body. That's what's important. It needs to cut across the body. I can temporarily make it a different color. He has it kind of going from the elbows like that to somewhere in the middle of the head. Probably good enough. Okay. Then I'm going to select both of these and use the Pathfinder. So I'm going to select that one and that one. And I need the Pathfinder. I never remember which shape it is over here, so I always go Window, Pathfinder. And I'm going to do Intersect, this upper left one. Excuse me, Unite. No, I don't want to do Unite. That would make one big shape out of it. Minus front, nope. Intersect, there we go. And you see what it did? It chopped the rest of it off, just leaving the two places where they overlapped each other. This arm still needs to be in front of that egg, so I need to click on him and bring him forward. Arrange, bring to front. And what does it want me to do here? Does it want me to make this white and translucent? Let's go and take a look. Yes, make it white. And then set to 20% opacity. Oh. They want this shape that I just drew. They wanted me to use Control and the square brace key in order to put it specifically where it needed to go. I think I'm just going to grab the head and bring it forward. So the head needs to be on top of everything else. So I'm going to select both the head and the two specular reflections. Bring them to the front. Right click, arrange, bring to front. Now I can make this white. And I can set it to 20%. There, two-toned. Then they have us draw two more ovals. Set them to 20%. In the interest of speediness, I'm just going to grab one of these ovals and make a copy of it by holding the Alt key down and drag. And do the same thing for another one. Good enough, huh? Not exactly how they have it. Don't care. Now we're just about done, actually, but they want us to do something else to get the arm to have that two-tone look as well. And for some reason, they want us to do it in a different fashion than what we just did. What we just did is we drew two shapes, and then we use the intersect option. We're going to do something similar, but different. We're going to drag our copy of the arm on top of it, and then put a circle on top of that, and then choose subtract from shape area. And so all that's going to leave us is with this sleeve. Let's do that. Here's my copy. Make it white. Pull it over here. Actually, again, it doesn't matter what color it is. And it's behind everything right now. I want it to be on top, so I'm going to pull it over here and bring it to the top. Right click it, arrange, bring to front. Okay. And then I need a circle. Compare it. Oh, they have the circle down here, not around the shoulder like I had. Move the circle down. Okay. Then I'm going to select both of those. Right click on that part of the arm, shift click to add that one to it. And then use the Pathfinder to subtract from. Not divide, crop, exclude, intersect, minus front. All right, and that just left this part. So minus front is that option right here. Now I can make that white and 20%. And I honestly don't know why we don't do the same thing on this side, but they don't have us. Then they want us to select the head, the arms, and the body objects and change those to 95% to give a slight translucency effect. So select the body, the head, and the arms and set them to 20%. Excuse me, 95%. Okay. I think I'll do them one by one. Opacity 95. Select that bit. Opacity 95. Select that bit. Opacity 95. Select the head. Opacity 95. You could lower it a little bit more if you think that it made the jello effect more noticeable. How about 90? Alrighty. He's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good. Maybe I made him too translucent. Maybe I should undo those changes. All right. I wish this was a little more translucent. I'm being picky. I'm going to change that to 92. There. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group him together. And then I'm going to make a copy of him, and I'm going to recolor the copy. So I grouped him together. I'm going to make a copy of him by selecting him and Alt dragging him. And I'm going to recolor him. How do I recolor? Edit. I'm not seeing the option that I'm looking for. Is it color settings? No. Edit colors. Edit, edit colors, recolor artwork. And now I have these colors and I can pick new colors for it, right? So rather than lima bean, I can double click on it and choose a different color. Rather than this darker green, I can make that look kind of bluish, right? And there, bingo, he's blue. I'm going to shrink him and put him behind the other guy. Oh, I have to hit the OK button. Send him behind him, right click, arrange, send to back. And I can make an even smaller one of a different color if I wanted to. Alt, dragged, can make a copy of him, arrange, send to back, resize him. Let's make him red. So edit, edit colors, recolor artwork. Double click there. Make it kind of a salmon pink. Double click there. Make it reddish. Click OK. And there we go. There we have our three guys. And we're done. Oh, they do show a little bit more. And I'm not going to bother. Forgot to. But after they're all done, they have us draw a rectangle and make the center of it white. So that he then has a shadow. I should have done that, but I didn't. I could take a shot at it, right? Just draw an oval. Apply a gradient to it. A spherical gradient. So I'm just going to choose white to black and make it spherical. It's going to fade to white. So I double clicked on the color down there. It's going to start off one of these lima beanish colors, and then one of these two. And I'm going to send it to the back. Right click, arrange, send to back. And then I'm going to squeeze it down. Right, and now he's got a shadow. And I wish I had done that before I recolored him. I guess it wouldn't take too long to draw those other shadows. Option click drag, option click drag, select that one, edit, edit colors, recolor, double click that, make it kind of bluish. Select that one. I need to send that one to the back, it looks like. Right click, arrange, send to back. And it also needs to be smaller. And this is going to be the smallest one. Edit, edit colors, recolor artwork. I remember making this one, click, click, red. It needs to be sent to the back and shrunk as well. So arrange, send to back. And we have a slight problem, which I managed to avoid by how I position them, that this edge should have been translucent, right? Because if you see that, the shadow's not supposed to look like that. I could have changed that, by coming over here and changing the opacity of that part to 0. You know, by double clicking that one and setting the opacity to 0 on the edge. And then when I dragged it over there, it would look okay, right? I'm going to undo that. It looked okay enough as it was. All right, there we go. Go ahead, draw it to your tastes. You don't have to make it the same colors. And I hope this is useful. Please contact me if you have questions over it.